What does defiance look like?
I mean, it will look different for every member. I think this go around, we shouldn't be surprised if we see walkouts. We shouldn't be surprised if we see, the kind of coordinated effort in dressing a certain way to send a message. We shouldn't be surprised if we see people might even, verbally react to some of the lies that we know he is going to tell about the work that his administration is doing.
They don't get it. They just don't get it. No wonder Democrats have a 36% approval rating as a party. No wonder congressional Democrats have a 21% approval rating, and I'm sure it's rapidly declining. These deacons at Woke United Methodist, they are becoming less popular than the mainstream media. And if they're not careful, the deacons are going to surpass the dump divers in the WNBA as the most disliked people in America. The behavior that we witnessed last night, it was absolutely deplorable. The Democrats have become the party of temper tantrums. They have become the party of fake outrage, the party of misery and bitterness. None of these people can think for themselves. Ilhan Omar, she's not a psychic. She's not some fortune teller. Just because she is dressed like Miss Cleo, that doesn't mean that Omar can predict the future. This was another failed, coordinated effort last night to disrespect and demonize the Trumper. At one point during the speech, I thought I saw Rachel Levine walking out as a form of protest. It was a bit confusing because Rach was not supposed to be there. Rach is no longer working in the federal government. I know for a fact that the guest invited by the Trumper, they did not require gender-affirming care, so there was absolutely no reason for Dr. Levine to be there. But then I realized it wasn't Rachel Levine that I saw walking out. It was Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Clearly, I was mistaken. The constant walkouts last night as deacons at Woke United Methodist were exposed to the truth. As you guys know, deacons and parishioners, they are highly allergic to the truth. Exposure to the truth, it can cause severe symptoms of stage 4 OMB. Orange Man bad! And those symptoms, they were on full display last night. Thank God the Yentas from The View weren't invited to the State of the Union. Trumper's a strong man, but I don't know if he would have been able to overcome the power of the Boodle Breeze. But the constant walkouts, that was not the only temper tantrum that the Democrats displayed last night. As the Trumper was entering the building, there was a strange birthing person in the background holding up a sign that said, "This is not normal." Yeah. No shit. Last night, I saw a rapidly aging fossil that had to be at least 100 years old. Most ladies that age, they have gray hair. But somehow, this lady had defeated the aging process by having purple hair. How in the hell did she get elected? What city or state elected a great-great-grandmother with purple hair? I expect my teenage daughter to come home with purple hair. If my congresswoman has purple hair, I am moving out of that district. There were other signs displayed throughout the night last night from the party poopers. One of the signs said, "Musk steals." Now, I thought that was ironic since, Elon Musk is busting the people who are actually stealing from the taxpayers. There was another sign that said "Swipe right." Now imagine my surprise when I saw that sign was being held by the Star Trek virgin Mike Freeman. Apparently, he's not having much luck on Trekkie, the dating app for nerds looking to seduce Obi-Wan Kenobi. But no matter what they did, no matter how angry they got, no matter how much they vocalized their fake outrage, deacons at Woke United Methodist, they could not change the fact that the Trumper was absolutely phenomenal last night. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. This morning on the second channel, talked about the downfall of the Dallas Mavericks and the self-inflicted destruction caused by Nico Harrison. With Kyrie Irving out for the season and possibly a large part of next season, the Mavs could be looking at a full rebuild. It is unbelievable what has happened this season in Dallas, so if you haven't already, head over to the second channel and subscribe. It only took 5 minutes for the Deacons to show their ass and completely humiliate themselves. 5 minutes into the Trumper speech, the symptoms of OMB became uncontrollable as the Deacons screamed in agony. A man stood up in the middle of the room. Now, I had no idea who in the hell he was. Initially, I thought he was Bob Griner's weed dealer, or one of the managers at Club Shay Shay responsible for managing talent like the dancing queen Jackie Mahomes. But as it turns out, the man with uncontrollable rage, it was Al Green, a congressman from Texas. He was screaming at the Trumper while holding what appeared to be Joy Reid's broom. Unfortunately for Al, he soon realized that law and order has returned to America. He soon realized that the police are no longer defunded. And Al Green, he was forcefully removed from the building. Watch it for yourself.
In our country,
continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Now, this was a critical moment in the speech. Like I said, this tantrum, it happened in the first 5, maybe 10 minutes, and I think it would have continued throughout the night. But Mike Johnson immediately stepped in and said, "Get him the hell out of here." That one decision established the rules for the rest of the speech. If you want to act like a child, you'll be treated like a child. If you want to throw a tantrum, you'll be throwing that tantrum in solitary confinement. Guess what happened the rest of the speech? Just take a wild guess. There wasn't another disruption. And in most cases, that's really all it takes. Once law and order is established, it only takes one person to be made an example of for everyone else to fall in line. The Trumper made it clear from the beginning. We're not tolerating your bullshit. We're not tolerating your disrespect. We're not tolerating your outbursts. We're not tolerating your juvenile behavior. If you want to act that way, you'll be boarding the broom with Al Green and flying your ass out of here. Like I said, I thought the Trumper was phenomenal last night. I thought it was the best speech that he's ever given. Normally, Donnie can be a bit long-winded. He'll have my attention for the first 30, maybe 45 minutes, but then I start losing interest. Last night, the Trumper had my attention for the full 2 hours. Towards the beginning of the speech, Donnie chastised the Democrats for refusing to celebrate America. Doesn't matter what he accomplished, doesn't matter what he says. The Democrats, they would refuse to celebrate it because he's the one doing it. And for the next 2 hours, the Deacons, they proved the Trumper right. They fell right into the trap. Donnie talked about the job they're doing cleaning up Social Security. There are millions of people receiving Social Security benefits who are over the age of 100. Some of them are 150 years old. Where is that money going? I know Methuselah lived over 900 years, but I'm pretty sure that he died in the book of Genesis. So, where is this money going? Finding out, that should be something that would unite both parties, right? Saving money, cleaning up Social Security. This should be something that is bipartisan, right? At one point, they showed Nancy Pelosi. She looked like she had just smelled a supersized dose of the Boodle Breeze. Poor Nancy, she had resting breeze face. The camera showed Elizabeth Warren several times texting through the Trumper speech. She was on a group text with Squanto and Wahoo McDaniel. The Trumper celebrated the fact that we pulled out of the World Health Organization. We also got rid of the Green New Deal. I'm sure that was devastating news for Bob Greiner. I mean, she's always looking for new green. Donnie pulled America out of the Paris Climate Accords. He made English the official language of the country. He eliminated government censorship. And as a content creator, I can't tell you how important that is. Making a living on YouTube, it's a hell of a lot easier when you don't have to worry about every other video being demonetized. The Trumper also celebrated the fact that diversity, equity, and inclusion is a thing of the past. According to Donnie, the country will no longer be woke. He is also requiring all federal employees to show up to work. Well, that is outrageous! That's unconstitutional! You can't expect these victims to work! It's fine. No big deal. You're right. The Trumper cannot force them to work. He can't force them to come into the office. But if they don't show up to work, they will no longer be paid. If you want to collect woke welfare, you're going to have to apply for a job in the WNBA dump, because you'll no longer be collecting woke welfare from the taxpayers. Donnie also claimed that the federal government will only recognize two genders. He honored Peyton McNabb, a young lady who was seriously injured in a volleyball game. Peyton was competing against Fran Formerman and took a hard shot to the face. Under the leadership of Donald Trump, that will also be a thing of the past. If school districts allow boys to compete in women's sports, they will lose all federal funding. Now again, this should be something that's bipartisan, right? I mean, Democrats showed up to the speech last night wearing pink shirts. They showed up to the speech wearing shirts that supposedly showed their support of women. But anytime a woman was honored last night, whether it was Peyton McNabb, Melania Trump, or the three beautiful ladies who lost their father, their husband in Butler, Pennsylvania last summer, when ladies were honored by the Trumper, the Democrats remained silent. For years, we have been trying to figure out how to get these people to shut the hell up. Trumper figured it out in one night. All we have to do is honor women, and the deacons will be silenced. You know, last night was a victory for the Trumper. It was a victory for America, and it was a devastating loss for the deacons. And the thing is, they know it. They know they've lost. They knew they had lost going into the speech last night. They know their ideas have been rejected. They know that America is eradicating the woke fungus. The only thing left for them to do is show their ass, which is exactly what they did last night. Give me your thoughts on this. What did you guys think of the speech? What did you think of the deacons showing their ass? Also, I did not forget about DJ Daniel. I didn't forget about the courageous young man battling brain cancer who was honored by the Trumper last night. I didn't mention him in this video because we're going to be discussing that later this afternoon. In the meantime, sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys this afternoon.